Hey, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to cover some cool features of Cursor and we are going to discuss some best practices to help us squeeze out more valuable content from Cursor. And the goal of this video is very high level overview of Cursor and its features and to give you a gist that what we can expect from Cursor, right? In this, so basically there are four major things that Cursor do. The first one is Cursor Composer, Cursor Tab, Privacy, and some rules. So in this section, we are going to see about the rules of Cursor, that what all rules the Cursor is going to use, like how Cursor is using the rules, right? So let me go to the rules page, and so basically this is the rules section of your Cursor. What Cursor do? So basically there are four main rules that Cursor uses. The first one is project rules, then comes your user rules, then your agent MD, and then your Cursor rules file, right? Let us understand each and everything one by one. So what happens over here is that when it comes to your project rules, right? So these are the rules which are basically project specific rules, that okay, if I am working on a specific project, right? For this particular project, what all rules I need to set, right? Then comes user rules, which is global, right? So these are the rules which you want them to be applied on each and every project, right? Whatever you open in your Cursor, right, on that particular thing, these rules which are being defined by users as a global Cursor environment, right? You will have these rules applied, right? Then we have a agent MD file. So these are simple rules for agent, right? That what agent need to, like how agent need to behave, right? How agent need to reply to us, right? So again, these are alternative to this rules, right? The project rules, it's an alternative for this, right? And then we have dot cursor rules file, right? So it's although depreciated, this is depreciated, but again it's currently in use, abhi ye use mein hai, right? So it's depreciated, but you can still use it, right? Also just to let you know that the project rules, right, which is dot cursor slash rules, this is a updated version of this dot cursor rules file. So earlier we were defining all the rules inside this dot cursor rules file, but now they have shifted it to cursor slash rules file, right? So yeah, so this is what all four types of rules we can define in Cursor. And yeah, so I guess I don't need to define what rules are, right? So yeah, let's see how rules work. So LLM, that is large language model, does not retain a memory between completions, right? If you complete things, right, it does not retain memory between the first completion and the second completion and all those things, right? So rule provides a persistent, right, reusable context to at the prompt level. So what we are doing, so by default LLM does not retain its memory, right? We have to ask him that okay, you have to persist, and you have to persist this context, right, so that I can reuse it again, right? So that is what we can do by using rules. One thing, right? That is one thing we can do by rules, right? And by we can also set that okay, whatever rules that you are so how agent want to behave, right, for this particular project, right? What all themes you have to always answer me into, right? So like suppose you are working on a project, right, whose base theme is say white and black text, right? And if you ask Cursor to do any change, you can set a rule that okay, Cursor, for this particular project, right, each and every UI, all the UI that you would generate for me would be in this particular theme. It would follow this particular color pattern, right? So now, whenever you are asking Cursor, right, it will always refer to that particular rule which you have set, and it will answer accordingly, right? So that is what exactly we are doing it. Okay, so yeah, project rules. So yeah, here comes the project rules, right? So in your project rule, how you have to set your project rules. So project rules live in dot cursor slash rules, right? So here is the directory in which you can make your project rules, right? For each rule is file and version controlled, okay? They are scoped and something, right? Now use project rules too. Why? Where we can use the project rules, right? Where you want to encode a domain specific knowledge about your code base, right? Suppose you want your code to be in React, right? And you want to encode some information, right? Or code base knowledge regarding to your domain, right? That okay, this is my domain, I am working in this particular domain only, and do something like that. At that point of time you can set project rules, right? Basically it won't answer beyond your domain, right? Then we have automate project specific workflows or templates. As I told you, again, whatever workflows you want to do, whatever file structure, folder structure, template you want to follow, right? You can set in the domains again. And if you want to standardize a style or architecture, as I told you that okay, this is particular color theme, right? It's an standardized style, right? This style you have to follow, right? Or you have a certain architecture in your mind, right? That okay, this is the architecture that you always have to follow, right? So you can set all those things in your this project rules part, right? Then comes rule and anatomy, right? For every rule anatomy there is a file return which is in the format of .mdc file, right? So you always write rules inside .mdc file, okay? And what does it do? So what is the rule type? So this is sample MDC format, right? That you have to write in. We'll create rules. No worries. We'll create rules, right? So how? Now all rules that you want to create, right? How those rules are applied? You can apply it always. So there's a type that okay, this rule type is always applied. So if you set a type of a rule to always, right, that rule type will always be applied on your cursor, right? And then it is auto attach. Now what is auto attach? Like suppose this is usually for when you're working on a specific project, right? So what happens when you switch between the projects? So what happens is there are some rules which have been applied to project 1, and there are other rules which have been applied to project 2, right? So these type of rule will have a type of auto attach, that okay, if I'm working with this project, then automatically attach these rules. If I'm working with that project, automatically attach these rules, right? Then comes your agent requested. So agent requested is like whenever you agent is requested, right? Whenever you request for agent, what rules to be applied? Now what do I mean by request for agent? So basically the meaning of request to agent is like when I give any prompt over here, right? Whenever I give any prompt over here, that is what request to agent means, right? Then comes your manual. So manual rule sets are always applies by using @ right? Like this over here in the above the diagram, you will see that okay, you have applied the rule, right? Add setting option .mdc, right? So it has this is manual. This is example of manual rule setting, right? So here whosoever is typing the prompt, he is manually setting the rule by using @ right? So if you want to set a specific rule, right, you can do it by using @, right? So manual is by using @. So I personally prefer always rules, right? Always rules, so that these are the best. So you just have to set one rule. See, again, if you are a front-end developer or back-end developer, more or less you would be working with a same or similar kind of a project, right? Similar kind of a API creation or similar kind of a technology, right? And again, the architecture of the template or like base architecture of each and every application that you would be working on would be kind of like similar, right? So you can go for this always rules wala part, right? And then comes your creating a rule. So again, we'll discuss about this in the next video, how we can create a rule and how we can play around it. So I guess yes, that's it for this video, and we'll meet you again in the other video with a new topic. Till then, thank you and bye bye.